I'm at the end of a grant cycle with a client, and we were just discussing some stuff about their data. And what we're learning, and I think a lot of people do, is when you request a certain amount and you only get less than that amount, then you have to start thinking about what you're going to cut. And it's so hard for people who are in nonprofits or in those type of areas to think about cutting into the overall benefit of the program to fund someone to do the data, because you know you applied for it for the people that you're going to serve. But the challenge is that in order to receive grants, you have to produce a lot of times some sort of, like, some kind of data, some sort of report to show that the grant that you received was worth it to the funder. And then you also need to be able to have that data not cause you a headache or the person you have doing your report at the end of the day. So even though it's really important, I think that, like, you can have people kind of on the sideline. You can have contractors. You can have other folks, maybe not internally, look at your data and maybe do it for a little bit less than it costs you to have a full-time person. But the challenge with nonprofits is they're usually going to give it to somebody who's already working there, and that person's going to be doing a lot of other jobs. So I've worked at nonprofits for the last 13 years, and I can tell you that even if you assign it to someone, a lot of times it's going to get pushed to the back burner because that person already has a job. And a lot of times it's client facing, and it's hard again to prioritize data over client facing services. It just is. So, just things to consider if you are getting a grant and it requires some sort of evaluation. You need to think really clearly about the data, how you're going to track it, and what you're going to do to clean it. Another grant that I'm working on, that we do a monthly meeting just to make sure that the data is on track, but there are data people assigned to that grant. So again, you kind of have to think about the implementation of your grant and how it might work out for you.